We thought she was fragile, a soft echo in a canyon of screams. My name is Quo Vorak, and I serve as a combat analyst for the Galactic Combat Academy, known affectionately to us veterans as the Grinder. For 3 centuries, this institution has been the anvil upon which the galaxy's sharpest weapons are forged. We took pride in our lethal perfection, basking in the arrogance that only centuries of dominance can breed. But hubris, as history often reminds us, is a slow-acting poison. It began with a bureaucratic fumble, a cultural exchange program designed to foster peace, a concept that makes my mandibles ache. Enter the humans, specifically, enter Maya Torres. To the elite predators of the Academy, she was a joke, a bipedal mammal with no armor, blunt teeth, and skin that looked like it would tear against a stiff breeze. We watched her with the bemused pity one might offer a houseplant placed in a gladiatorial arena. We were catastrophically wrong. The lesson in Lecture Hall 7 was meant to be routine. Professor Vex Thornscale, a towering saurian whose emerald scales were as sharp as his wit, was lecturing on predator dominance. The room was a gallery of monsters: Crix Bloodfang, a Vorthali hunter with paralytic claws, Zara Nightclaw, an Umbari Shadowstalker capable of sonic disorientation, and Thorn Skullsmasher, a Goliathan living tank. In the back sat Maya, armed only with a notepad and a ponytail, looking unremarkable. When Crix mocked Maya's ability to comprehend the lesson, the cruelty of the class was immediate. Thornscale, eyes gleaming with sadistic curiosity, proposed a practical demonstration. The rules were simple: natural biological assets only. Maya, however, was granted one mercy: an improvised weapon. She calmly snapped a leg off a broken chair. "This will work," she said, her voice devoid of fear. It was the quiet before the avalanche. Crix entered the ring, a blur of chitin and venom, confident in a victory written by millions of years of evolution. He charged. Maya didn't flee. She simply wasn't there when he arrived. With a sidestep that defied the sluggish reflexes we attributed to her kind, she let his momentum betray him. When he reset and struck again, she stepped on his arm, using him as a fulcrum, and brought the chair leg down on his nerve cluster with the precision of a surgeon. The crack of wood meeting chitin silenced the room. Crix fell, paralyzed not by force, but by a superior understanding of anatomy. Educational, Maya noted. Thornscale, desperate to salvage the narrative of superiority, escalated the violence. "Pack dynamics," he hissed. Zara and the others rose. It was now 6 against 1. They attacked with acid, sonic pulses, and brute force. Maya didn't fight. She flowed. She turned the classroom into a weapon, vaulting off desks to dodge 6 venom blades acid, using Thorn's massive body as a shield, and redirecting Ray's bone crusher into his own spurs. It was kinetic poetry, a masterclass in environmental combat that left the galaxy's finest twitching on the floor. But the nightmare wasn't over. The alarms blared, snapping Zara Nightclaw out of her shock. She rallied the final wave: Cork's Flesh Terror with his bone whips, Vex Shadowmar the phase shifter, and Thresh Skull Renderer with his dissolving enzymes. They came at her with the fury of gods scorned. Maya looked at them with mild interest. When Zara dove from the ceiling, a missile of camouflaged death, Maya caught her mid-air, slamming her into the tiles and severing her consciousness with a strike to the brainstem. She danced through Corks's razor whips, dismantling his nervous system, and drove her splintered stick into the only solid part of the phasing Vex. For Thresh, untouchable in his acid skin, she simply threw a broken tile between his eyes. "Kinetic trauma," she explained to the silence. ignores enzymes. 11 apex predators lay unconscious. Maya stood amidst the wreckage, her uniform torn, holding 6 inches of frayed wood. "Was that educational enough?" she asked. Thornscale, terrified and diminished, dismissed the class. The survivors fled like prey. Maya thanked him politely and left to study. In the aftermath, as I reviewed the data, the horror truly set in. Humans aren't prey. They evolved on a death world where nature threw ice, fire, and monsters at them, and they survived by simply refusing to die. They are persistence hunters, creatures that chased mammoths until the beasts' hearts exploded. And Maya? She wasn't a soldier. Her file listed her major as xenobiology with a minor in literature. We saw an average human dismantle our elite. I have sent a recommendation to the Council. Ally with them immediately. Not because we need their friendship, but because if Maya Torres is their baseline, we cannot survive them as enemies. We thought we were the predators in the dark. We were wrong. Humans are the things that make the predators check under the bed.